Hey everybody, Mike here. Mike's Computer Tips. It's been a while since I did a live stream, but I'm here now and I miss everybody and I hope to see all my friends. I have been making videos, but I haven't done live streams. Hey, Yo, how's it going? Great to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Mm-hmm. Hello, Yo. Miss Yo. Okay, great. Anything you want to know, just ask. I'm always telling people, just like I'm their father. Hello, Mace. Mace's Technology. How's it going? Mm-hmm. My channel is Mike's Computers Tip. If you've never seen me before, I talk about different things related to your computer. I also have a business called MSL Computer Service, Repair Service, and I do that in Brevard County, Florida. That's where I live. And I work on computers at my home, and I work on computers mobile. Been doing that since about 1998. You haven't seen my videos, well, these are like the four things that I usually talk about. Development, gotcha. I talk about maintenance mostly, and I talk about security. I talk about upgrades, and I talk about changing settings in order to make your computer run better. But yeah, development is okay. I have to say that I've never ever worked for a company before. I went to computer school, A+ certification school, and I even had a business before doing that. But the A+ certification school gave me the confidence to go out and have confidence working for companies, working for individuals. So I gathered that experience and study on my own. I watch a lot of videos. I try to learn different things. Oh, okay, MCSE, yeah, in November. I think that's the best way, because you have to really, it's like anything else, in order to learn how to do something, you have to try, you just have to do it, and then, you can watch videos, you can learn that way, and that's great. But once you start doing stuff, I think that's when you really learn. Just like Abraham Lincoln, he failed his way to success. Hey, how you doing, crafting? Great to see you. Make sure everybody checks each other out because we got some great we have some great channels here. We have Mace's Technology LLC. Mace has a lot of computer experience. That's Mace Technology in the development aspect of computers. So, and then we have crafting. Craig, okay, nice to meet you, Craig. And then we have crafting. There's a lot of great crafting channels out there, and I wish I was able to do that. My wife does that kind of stuff, and I'll tell you, it's pretty nice, not what they make and everything. And then we have Miss Yo-Yo Closet Over 50. She's one of my friends from other chats, and it's great to see you too. I teach like computers in a little bit different way than most people because a lot of the stuff, a lot of my videos, if you watch my videos, you'll realize that I'm just talking to like the average person, and just like the way I learned is the way I show other people. Yeah, back in the day, Windows 98. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. So if nobody ever saw him, make sure you check him out. Check Mace's out. Hello, my friend there. I'm going to add everybody as a moderator. I ran Windows 98 beta in Memphis, I believe it was. What do you think about teeth? Who's that Lola? I think that's a scammer or something. Okay. Oh, okay. Windows 98 beta. That's good. Gotcha. Hello, Ding. How's it going? Welcome to the channel. Mike's Computer Tips here. Yeah, so I like, hello, Christopher. One of my friends, your channel, as they aren't the best with tech. Oh, that's nice. I appreciate that. So if you get a wave of people with cats' profile pictures, you know why. Okay, I appreciate that. I'm always looking for more people who isn't. You want to. My goal when I made this channel was to help as many people as I could because I remember back in 1996, 95, when I bought my first computer. I didn't know one thing about it. You wish that they would give you like you buy the computer and then you leave the store and then you find yourself on the phone for like 7 hours with somebody in like India, and you're trying to figure out what happened, why your computer's frozen and won't work and everything, and eventually you figure it out. CJ's, how's it going? Great to see you, CJ's. So that's really what made me get into learning computers, is because when I bought my first computer, it was a compact computer, and I didn't really know how to use it. I bought it, and then I took it home, and like I said, for about 2 weeks, I was on the phone with everybody, AOL support, Microsoft. I was on the phone with people in India. I mean, anybody that would talk to me to tell me what to do, I would just try it at least. Until I found the AOL chat rooms. I don't know if they even still have them. They probably do, but the technology chat room, I started going there, and little by little, people would tell me, how to do things. I'm on a Windows 98 second edition, and I don't know what I'm doing. And people are telling me, do this, do that. This will fix that. This will fix this other thing. And then I started learning, and then eventually I started. After I learned stuff, people would come in with the same questions that I had, and I started telling them what I was taught. And that's really how I started. I spent a couple of years in those chat rooms, and I was working on people's computers, but I was also learning, and I think it's always a learning process. Here I am, 20 something years later, and I'm still learning. It's just keeps going on and on. They got better video cards out now. The memory is so much faster. The motherboards have so much capability. Now you could push a button on the back of the motherboard and it'll reset your BIOS, or you can do BIOS flash. I mean, things have changed. Oh, yeah, that's true, CJ. It's always something to learn. And that's the way it is. And I have a computer tech friends, and I always ask them questions, about different things, and, what they think and all this other stuff. But I think it comes down to basics also. There's a lot of using a computer, there's a lot of basics that that are important. And if you stick to those basics, you'll be okay. Will to learn. Yeah, exactly, CJ. You're right. I'm not afraid to ask people stuff that I've done over and over. If I, if I think, sometimes I'll ask people common questions like that have computer shops even, and I'm not a know-it-all. I just teach what I know, and I can tell you what I know works, and what I would have worked for me. I have told other people that over the years, and that's pretty much what I've done. People ask me, oh, it seemed like you're into technology, and I always say, well, I don't know if I'm into technology, but I can tell you how to do such and such to fix this problem, or I can tell you the settings you have to change, or I can tell you how to do maintenance on your computer. I can tell you what free programs you should have and things like that. And I've pretty much done that. I made a career out of it, I guess you could say. But learning, yeah, I mean, you have to constantly learn because this industry changes a lot. I mean, just when you get the best video card, there's another one that's out there that just came out on the market. The best RAM. There's no such thing as the best anything anymore because they mass produce so much stuff. It's like a company will come out with much better products. We always thought when we started out, the memory was fast, but then it just kept on getting faster and faster and faster and better. The hard drives also, they started out real small and they just got bigger and bigger. And eventually we got to solid state now and the M.2. So it's like, it's pretty phenomenal stuff. I watch a lot of videos on BIOS and CMOS and mostly different motherboard companies and their BIOS settings and things like that. Um, I've been really doing that lately, just so I just like to learn stuff like that. To go into the BIOS and what manufacturer has this set up this way, and MSI has these different setups in the BIOS and ASUS too. Hey, thanks a lot, 50. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you come in, I appreciate you doing the thumbs up. Thank you. The programs that I started out with were like C Cleaner, free version, Malwarebytes, free version, AVG, Avast. And those programs, I still use to this day and I still install them. Hey, Rooted Essentials, how's it going? Hey, did you get a hold of Geo? If you want to join that group I was telling you about, just text Team Bill with Geo. That's my other friend, Rooted in Essentials Oil. Everybody check him out also. Thumbs up for the live stream. If anybody can share this out, great. If anybody has any computer issues, maybe we can solve them, or any questions about anything. You know, I have a lot of smart people that come into my chat that know different things. And I learn from other people, people that build gaming systems. I talk to people, that build gaming systems, and I watch a lot of videos about on people that are building gaming systems. And everybody seems to be a little different, but it's a common, there is similarities. I'll type it in there. You just talk to her. Well, we're gonna have one tomorrow. If you want to show up tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time, this is the um, chat that you have to come to show up at 8:30 tomorrow, and then you can start. You know. No, I haven't got a hold of. Oh, um, team. Sorry for the cats. Okay, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna put it in the chat. It's called Team Build. Spelling right with Geo, and come in here if you can tomorrow at 8:30. Oh, sure, Rooted anytime, and you'll see the live stream at 8:30. Come in there, and we'll show you what to do. That's the name. SBA Electronics. We got some pretty computer savvy people. We got SBA Electronics, and then CJ Info, and don't forget the gentleman that came in before, Aces Technology LLC. He does development, which is awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to go in computers. You can. Some people get into networking. Some people get into developing software. I think that's pretty cool. Developing software for companies. There's a lot of money in that. Networking, there is some money, but it's not as big as it used to be now with Wi-Fi. That's the lady that does the chats on Monday. So yeah, you just Monday around 8:30 or 25 after 8. If you look for that team build with Geo, you'll see the lady and it will say live, and you just click on that. That's the group. That's the group that we go in, and then we share each other's, like, everybody watches a short video of let's say you watch my short video, 1 minute or less video, then five or six people will watch that, and then after that, then they'll watch your short video. If you have a short, you got to have like a couple of 60-second or less short videos, and then that's how you do it. And everybody watches your video and stuff, and it can get in the algorithm, and you might get a lot of people. It's a good thing. And they do that 3 times. Oh yeah, SBA. What kind of Windows issue do you have? I'll try. Yeah, if I can, I will definitely help you. I always tell people, if your Windows gets really that messed up and your computer's really messed up, try to do a reset. You can type in reset in the search bar in the bottom search box, and then it'll give you an option to save your information or don't save it, and you can do a reset. Sort of like the restore point type of thing. It tries to bring your computer back to when you first got it. And believe me, I did a lot of those restores when I first got my first system. I'm gonna try to move this up. I'm on Windows 11, and I'm trying to format my hard drive. Keeps saying just not connected when it is. Well, one thing you could do is you can make sure that there's no other drives connected to the computer. That's one thing you can do. And make sure there's no USBs plugged in to any USB ports. And then you can go into the BIOS, or you can tap, like, when your computer first comes on, it tells you what key you tap to get into the BIOS to set up. Okay, good. Yeah, you can go there on Monday and talk to Geo, but that's good. So you'll get hit a notification, you'll get an alert, and just not connected. Usually it says no hardware found or no hard drive found, but if you have another hard drive, I would say also you could test another hard drive. You might have an issue with your hard drive. Make sure everything's connected, and make sure it's all plugged in. All your plugs are in tight and everything. Your cables, and make sure the SATA to your motherboard is plugged in too. And then you can go, when you start your computer, before it goes to the Windows screen, you'll see it on the bottom left hand side. It'll say push, like, delete or F1 or F2 to get into setup. Now, if you tap that key before it starts, you can get into the BIOS. Okay, and it's a weird looking screen. But if you have a late model computer, you can use the mouse to navigate in there. If it's an old computer, then you'll have to use the up or down arrows. But you want to go to the boot sequence area and make sure your first boot device on the top is going to be your make it like your hard drive, so that way when the computer starts, it'll find that it'll find that drive. See, you may have your boot order messed up or something like that. But if you have another hard drive, I would try another hard drive first, because if it doesn't say if it's not connected, then you may probably not going to see it in the BIOS. So I would make sure everything's connected first. And if you have another hard drive, try that. If you have a second hard drive hooked up, make sure you unhook that before you try it. But it could be a hard drive problem. It could just be a setup problem too. So that's why I always try to keep. I know most people aren't going to have extra hard drives, but since I work on computers, I go out and I buy 7 or 8 hard drives just to test them and stuff, just for testing and but okay, my Windows version is really weird and it has lots of bloatware. Well, it's no problem. Don't worry about the version. Once you get on there, you can go into the control panel and you can uninstall programs you don't want, things you don't need. Um, that's one thing you can do once you get on. But you're talking about your hard drive not being recognized, so you have to get past that first. You need to install it before you can clean up any bloatware. That's not a big problem. The bigger problem is your hard drive is not being recognized. So there's even programs that will remove bloatware, but you can also try a custom setup while you're installing Windows and just choose the programs you want to install. Sometimes is helpful. But I know a lot of people do get bloatware on their computer, and that can be a hassle because now they're putting all kinds of stuff on there. But yeah, give that a try and see what happens, because you may not have your boot order booting to the hard drive. It might be down in the third or fourth position. Make sure that's set up to boot to the hard drive. Make sure all the connections are good. That's an important thing. And like I said, if you have another drive, definitely test it. Check all your cables, especially the ones to the motherboard. And sometimes the cable can be bad too. If you have an extra SATA cable, connect it, or try a different cable. Even I've seen cables that are bad, and the problem really wasn't the hard drive. So yeah, and let me know how that goes, and if you have any other, if I can help you with anything, just text me or send it in the comments. Okay. Yeah, once you set inside the BIOS, set it to go into your boot order and set it to boot from the hard drive. Put that all the way at the top. Make the hard drive your number one. Your CD-ROM could be number 2 or 3, but make sure your first boot device is that drive. And then I don't know if you're using a disk or you're using a USB to install Windows, but to make sure the disk is clean, and make sure the your DVD is clean too, the eye, so it can read it and see if it will detect it. I always use, I put Windows on the USB drive. I get that right from the Microsoft website. And make sure you save your changes too if you change anything. F15 or whatever it is, save your changes before you exit the BIOS. Yeah, the BIOS is really an important thing, and it is something that most people really don't even know about. Because when you start a computer, the first thing the computer is doing is looking in the BIOS and looking for those settings, to start the computer, looking for operating system and good stuff like that. And there is a CMOS battery, which is the same battery that you would have on a watch, and they're good up to 3 to 6 years. And I recommend people changing them every few years. And if you change it while the computer's on, you won't lose your settings. If you do it while it's shut off and you change that battery, you may have to fix your date and time. But it's good to change that battery every couple of years. That holds all your settings and your custom settings in your BIOS, and it also keeps the date and time working. So if you take the battery out, everything goes down. Anything that you set in there, custom, it'll go back to the way it was. It'll go back to defaults. One thing I need to do is I need to charge my phone up. Okay, it detected the hard drive. Well, that's good. Sometimes it happens, that these cables are not foolproof. You have to change the cable. Yeah, if anybody else has any computer issues, let us know. I want to give some computer tips. If you have a desktop computer, very important that you clean your fans. I don't know how many times I've told people, if you have a desktop computer, make sure you clean your fans. Every once in a while, unplug the power in the back, and you can use a vacuum cleaner or you can use canned air. I use canned air and little brushes on the fans. Make sure you hold the fan, spray it, or take off the dust that's on the fan, even the power supply in the back, all the way on the bottom, or if your power supply is on the top. Make sure you clean all the dust if there's any dust on there, or any dust on the I/O shield in the back, or any of the vent covers, your PCI covers. Make sure all that's clean, and make sure your CPU fan is clean. And any dust in the case, try to get it off. If you have a external video card, a big video card, make sure that you clean the dust off it, and the motherboard, and make sure your fans are working too. When you plug it in, look at all your fans and make sure those fans are spinning. Sure, SBA, you're welcome. Great to hear that. You're welcome anytime. Very important that you clean your fans and your desktop periodically, because what will happen is your computer will get hot. Even if you have a water cooled system, your RAM gets hot over time. Your motherboard can get hot if you have a lot of dust on it. Your graphics card, and those fans, if they're loaded with dust are not going to be able to do the job right to clean your computer. I mean, to cool your computer. So you need to clean your fans. Very important. I'll go to somebody's house or somebody's business for one certain thing, but the first thing I look at is the fans. Are these fans dusty? Because if they are, I need to clean them because this computer is going to be running hot. I look at everything. Like a detective, I guess you could say. Desktops and laptops. Laptops are actually more important, but it's a different process. When you have a laptop, your fans are in there's not a whole lot of circulation room in a laptop, so you usually have one or two fans, and make sure the fan is working, and make sure that the vent is clear on the side. You don't want to sit your laptop on a carpet or anything because you're going to close that vent. And same with the desktop. If you have a power supply with the fan on the bottom, don't sit the desktop on the carpet. You need room for ventilation. Okay, so what I recommend is if you have a carpet or you're going to put your desktop on the floor and you have the fan on the bottom, get a couple pieces of wood at the lumber yard or something and just put them underneath there and lift it up a couple inches just so you have the circulation of your computer. And if your laptop is getting too hot or your power cord is getting hot, you may have an issue with your fan. So make sure that gets cleaned. If you can't do it yourself on your laptop, take it to a professional, because if the fan's not working properly, you can overheat your CPU, and you don't want to do that. So that's one of the best tips I can give. Another good tip that I want to give people is about backups. One of the most important things that you could do on your computer is make sure you have adequate backups. In other words, if you have important data or pictures or videos on your computer, you should buy yourself a USB hard drive, an external USB hard drive, and plug it in to the computer and back up your information. Oh, good, SBA. Excellent. Very important. I was at a client's house today, and real fast gaming system that was built, but there was so much dust on the back that the CPU wasn't getting enough air to keep it cool. So I had to clean the back. I cleaned the fans, and there was a lot of dust on the bottom of it and on the video card. So I just made sure I did that first. And I always check hard drive cables. Make sure everything's plugged in correctly. Inside your computer, if it's a desktop, make sure no wires are near your fan where it can get chewed up in there by accident. Have proper cable management. If you have to buy these little zip ties and separate things, I have 4 or 5 packs of them. I take them with me, and if cables are all over the place, after I repair the computer, I'll set the cables up a lot better. That's very important. So you don't want to get any wire stuck in the fan, and if you have cables all over the computer, fans can't cool everything down too. So you want to keep everything as neat as possible. And a lot of this I see on gaming systems mostly, and regular desktops in offices. And a lot of people just don't think that they have a lot of dust. But also if you're a smoker too, or you're in a dusty environment, you can get a lot of dust on your computer, and that'll make it overheat. So definitely clean your fans and do backups. Back up your important information that you have, even if you want to keep it on your computer. Make sure you have a backup, whether it be a USB drive or an external hard drive is even better because they're a lot faster. And that way you'll have your information safe if your computer breaks, crashes, or something fails on it. Your hard drive dies and you can't get the data. Um, it's better to have a backup. And even when I restore people's computers, I always pick the option to save the data because if there's anything there and it's not a virus or messed up, then I just, they can have their information. Great. That's a good habit to get into. And also, mostly the ventilation is the real issue. Um, and I noticed too, the way people set up fans. You want it to, if you have fans on the top of your desktop, you want them to blow out. And the fans in the back should blow in, the fans in the front should blow in. You want to keep it cross ventilation and you want the air to be able to come out. So there's a certain way that you should set up fans. That's another important thing too when you're building a system. A lot of people are looking for the most expensive, best part, but that's not always the right choice. You want to have your parts, decent parts in your computer, but you don't want to, you know, um, put a really big graphic card in a small form factor. You want to have the right amount of ventilation, so you have to plan these builds in advance. And another thing I tell people that if you're going to add a big video card to your computer, if you're going to upgrade your graphic card, if you upgrade it too much, like you know 20 something gigs of RAM or 18, make sure you have a strong enough power supply. A 600 power supply is not going to do it. You have to, hey Doug, how you doing? You want to have like a 850, or you want to have 1,000 watt power supply if you plan on doing a lot of upgrading. You want to have enough power that everything in that system is going to be powered on and working to push all those different high performance parts that you have. So you really have to look at everything. The type of RAM you're going to use, what kind of power supply you're going to use, what motherboard you're going to use. The first thing you should ask yourself when you're going to build a system is, what am I going to use this for? That's the first thing I usually ask people, because if they're going to use it for basic stuff, you don't need 16 gigs of memory. You don't need a giant graphic card if you're just going to surf the internet. If you're going to do gaming or heavy applications, video editing, that's when you need that kind of stuff. But for a regular user, that most you're going to do is surf the internet, maybe download or play music, or basic things on the internet. You just need a basic computer. If you decide like you want to upgrade in the future, that's fine. You can get a mid-level computer that has some upgrade ability, but you start out with basic system if that's what you're going to use it for. Hey dog, how's it going? Great to see you. Hey, anybody that comes in, please do the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Um, Thank you for coming, and check everybody out in the chat. Check each other's channels out, support one another, and give me the thumbs up. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys are all here. Thanks for coming. I hope you can hear me good. I just moved my microphone over, and I haven't done a live stream in a while, but I'm glad I'm on. I miss all you guys, and thank you for being in my live stream, and I hope you learn something and pick something up from either what I say or somebody else. And if anybody else has a computer tip that they want to share with people, that's great. I'm always trying to get people to help each other because that's what it's all about. If you're new to my channel, my name is Mike, and my channel is Mike's Computer Tips, and I help people with their computer. I make videos on computer repair and making your computer faster, maintaining your computer, and troubleshooting problems and things like that. So, if you have a chance, check out some of my videos if you're new, and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. I have probably about 1,400 people right now, 1,450. I started this channel a couple years ago, and I took a couple years off. Then I came back, and I started, doing it again. But thanks, dog. I appreciate it. Um, Everything that I learn, I try to pass it on to people because, that's what it's about. If if your computer's slow, there's a lot of ways to make it faster. One of the ways is doing maintenance on it. If your computer was faster before and then it started slowing down, there's a lot you can do maintenance on it, and you could speed it up again by cleaning, cleaning your temporary stuff and changing some settings and doing disk cleanup, which is built in Windows, you know, and doing. Oh, okay, good to see you, Dank. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you. Thanks, dog. I'm glad you're here. He said if anybody's with a cat, then he recommended him. So I'm making you a moderator also. So we got cats and dogs. We got dog, and then we got cat. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff you can do to make it faster, but one of the things is to do maintenance on your computer if you're not sure how. You know, watch some of my videos, and you'll learn to maintain your computer every couple weeks. There's some programs that you can use to make it faster, to do cleaning on it, and those programs are free. I use a lot of free programs. I don't really buy any programs. I've always used free ones, and they've always worked good for me. So consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. And if you subscribe, please click the bell and bring it up to where it says all. That way, when I come out with a new video, you'll be the first one to be notified. Make sure you go to the drop down and hit all when you click the bell, because there's a couple different settings in there. I want to make sure it's on all. So if I come out with a video, you will be the first one to see it, and you can click on it. And everybody check out Dank's channel and Dog and SPA Electronics. And we have Rooted and Essential Oils. Check that channel out. And we have Gusty. Check that out. CJ's Info. Great channel. Make sure you check that one out. Christopher Cox, the old friend. Check that channel out. And Mace's Technology LLC. Make sure you check that channel out. And Rugi's Crafting LLC. Check that channel out. And also Miss Yo-Yo's Closet Over 50. Make sure you check her out too. There's a lot of good channels to check out. Make sure you guys support each other and share the love. That's how we do it. Appreciate it, dog. Thank you very much. I'm trying to set up this charge this phone, and it's getting there. So we have a lot of people. We got 12 thumbs up. Hopefully, more people will come in. The chat has been going the live stream's been going for 51 minutes. Just hit the 51-minute mark. So, yeah, make sure if you can share the channel out, share it out. Tell your friends to subscribe. And definitely check out some of my videos and check out everybody in the live stream. Make sure you support all their channels. Rooted in Essential Oils. We got SBA Electronics. We got some great channels here. Sure, SBA, what's up? We got Dog. We got Dank. We got all these good channels in here. Miss Yo-Yo. Check out Miss Yo-Yo. Check out everybody and share the love. We got CJ's info. Check out Miss Yo-Yo's Closet Over 50. Check out Augusto. Check out Mesa's Technology LLC. That's Mesa's Technology LLC. Miss Yo-Yo's Closet Over 50. Great channels there. Everybody definitely share the love. Check out everybody's channel and consider adding them. I have a 128 gigabyte USB, but it comes up as a 16. Oh, maybe the way you formatted it is possible. There's some leftover space there. You should have deleted the partition. That's probably what happened there. What I would do is, if you have a second hard drive, install that on a different, as a slave, and save your information to that. If you don't do that, you're going to have to erase this drive, and you're going to have to delete the partition, because you probably have some space that's left over. The partition might not. You probably installed Windows on another partition, and that probably took up the space. So, yeah, you could just put another hard drive in as a slave and save your information there, or else on this drive you're going to have to delete the partitions and install Windows again. So sometimes it's better just to put another drive in, and you could save data to it. Other than that, yeah, there was still an operating system on there when you installed it, most likely, or files. Maybe you had saved files or something. But we have Dank, we have Dog. Check out them channels. SBA Electronics. And we have Rooted and Essentials. Check out that channel, Rooted and Essential Oils. Great channel. I got this crazy message coming up. I use a free antivirus, and you always get these messages saying you have problems with your computer, you're going to have to pay for, the paid version, but I always stay with the free one. Yeah, SBA. So, you have those two options. Got Dog, you got Dank, you got SBA Electronics, you got Rooted in Essential Oil. Great channels. Everybody check them out. Check them out. Consider subscribing to them. Make them your family and do it the YouTube way. Leave a genuine comment and click the bell. Make sure you set it to all. Yeah, some other issues too I've noticed, like, um, there's two ways to make your computer faster. You can get more memory, you can speed it up, and you can put an SSD hard drive in your computer, and that'll run faster than your mechanical hard drive. The old style hard drive, 5200 or 7200. The big ones. Or if you have a laptop, the small drives. Those two things will speed up your computer. But the best thing to do is do the maintenance also, because if you have a lot of stuff on your computer, programs you don't use, make sure you uninstall them. You go into the control panel to programs and features, and the programs you don't want, one by one, you go down the list, highlight it, and uninstall. Wait till that's done. Go to the next one. And do that for all the programs you don't want. But make sure you know what you're uninstalling. You don't want to install your sound card or anything important or any Microsoft thing. If it's a game or something like that and you know what it is, great. If you don't know what it is, leave it alone. So those two things will definitely speed up your computer if you want it faster, but doing the maintenance is an essential thing, because you can put a new hard drive and more memory in your computer, and if you don't do the maintenance, in a few months it's going to run slow again. I'm trying to format the USB, but it says Windows complete the format. Yeah, what you have to do is you have to reinstall Windows, but before you install it, it should show you the partitions, and then you delete those partitions. So you have to run your Windows again, and before you install it, it'll show you those partitions. Make sure you delete all of them before you install it, because you want to see those partitions, because that's where you're losing your gigs because of that. So you have to do that before you install it with the disk or with your USB. And bring up the partitions, highlight it, hit delete. Go to the next one, highlight it, hit delete until you have one big partition left, and then you hit install. Yep. Partitions are like a filing cabinet. Look at it like a filing cabinet. You have different drawers for different things. So the top one, you might have protected files. That one, you might have Windows. So, see what I'm saying? That's what the partitions are for. They're like a filing cabinet where you separate different sets of files. That's how you have to. The only way you can get rid of those, to make your space, bring up your space again, to free it up, is you have to delete those partitions. And the only way you could do that is right before the installation, where it shows you the partition table. Almost 1 hour. That's really good. There's a bunch of other people that I normally see, and hopefully they'll come in too. But If you're still in the chat, put a 1 in the chat. That way I know you're still here. If you're still here, just put a 1 just to get an idea who's still here, because it's really hard to tell. That's my 1. I'll start out. So whoever's still here, please put a 1. Okay, SBA. Kind of figured you're here because I'm talking to you, but hey, it just might just be us. Who knows? Oh, God. Yeah, I hope you can figure that out. That's really what you have to do. Well, I think it's just you and me here. Everybody might have ran out on us, or they're cooking and coming back and forth. That's possible. A lot of people do that. But if I'm going to end the chat, end the live stream, but if you still have issues, make sure you text me. Send a comment in the comments section, and if I can, I'll help you further. But right now, I'm going to end the chat, end the live stream, and Mike's Computer Tips here. See you in the next video.